Want to improve your company's interview process? I am here today to give you some crucial interview tips that will help you select the best candidates for you and your business. And these tips are guaranteed to deliver results. If you fail at asking the right questions when hiring, you actually increase your chances of hiring the wrong person, and this can actually lead to a costly mistake. Interviews are a crucial part of hiring someone, and it's really important that you really take the time to understand how this process works, as well as all the factors that go into creating an effective interview. By simply ensuring that you are asking the right questions, you are actually increasing your chances of hiring the right person. But it's important to hire someone who will do the job well. But also, it's really important that you hire an employee who takes pride in their work. Why is the interview process important? A job interview is important because it will not only benefit the company, but also the potential candidate. By the time that you arrive to the in-person interview, you've already established that this candidate has the right credentials, qualifications, and skills for the job. Now, this part of the interview will allow you to really get to know someone personally, and it will really help you to determine whether this person is right for the job or not. Not only that, but this will also allow the candidate to determine if they want to work for your company or not. This phase is important because it can prevent a company from wasting time and money on a candidate who might not turn out to be suitable for the job. Sometimes it takes a company multiple interviews before they find the right selection, because you really want to know your potential employee. Get a sense of their passion, initiative, goals, cultural fit, attitude, and communication skills. Now that we got that out of the way, what are the best steps you can take to select the best candidates for a job interview? Step 1. Be selective and narrow down the candidates before the in-person interview. When you are faced with 100 or even 200 potential candidates, you really want to be selective on who you interview. And remember that quantity does not mean quality. So it's best to narrow it down to a reasonable number. And remember, take your time to review each candidate's resume and, of course, cover letter. Step 2. Telephone screen each candidate prior to the in-person interview. Now that you have chosen a number of candidates, you want to get even more selective by setting up a phone interview. This will allow you to get a general sense of the candidate before you meet them in person, and you actually have a chance and opportunity to clear up a few things, such as availability and salary rates. And of course, this will save you and the employee time. So if this interview does not align, this simply means that you can narrow down your candidates even more, and therefore you can align yourself with the candidates that are more suitable for the job. This will also give you an opportunity to customize your interviews and give you a head start. Step 3. Prepare for the job interview. It is really important that you take the time to customize your interview for each candidate. And of course, prepare the right questions. You don't just want to look at their resume and skill set, but you really also want to look at their personality and past experiences in the workforce. Not only that, but you also want to look at their strengths and their weaknesses. This will give you an insight if they have potential for growth within your company. Step 4. Do your research. Make sure that you have all of the candidates' information and readily available during the interview for easy reference. Step 5. Follow a consistent interview structure. Even though you want to customize your interviews, you also want to have an interview structure in place. This will help the process run smoothly because it will give you a format to follow for each interview. For example, introduction phase, standard interview questions, behavioral interview questions, final questions, and of course, the custom questions for each individual. How to create the best environment to have the most successful job interview. Now that you have prepared your questions and you know what you're doing, you also want to make sure that the whole interview process runs smoothly and that you get the best outcome possible. So you don't just want to focus on the questions alone, but you also want to think about how are you going to run your day? How are you going to set it up to simply allow yourself to have the most successful outcome possible? So the first thing here is that you want to make sure that your applicant feels at ease. So you don't just want to jump into the questions immediately. You actually want to take a minute to build some rapport. During the interview process, make sure that you make eye contact. Be prepared to improvise depending on the different responses. Listen more and talk less. People love to talk about themselves, so they will give away a lot more when you simply allow them to just talk and open up. Pay attention to nonverbal and body language, such as posture, outfit, and personal grooming. Note if they have done homework about your company. Make sure to take notes. Understand what you can and cannot ask. And finally, leave time for the candidate at the end to ask you questions. Remember that this interview isn't just a one-way street. The candidate is also interviewing you. How to ask the right questions. Now that we have gotten the first steps established, I am going to give you some really important tips on some important questions that you can ask a candidate during an interview. A major component of a successful job interview is knowing what questions to ask. There are several different types of interview questions that you can ask. However, there are specific questions that are designed to help you achieve the best answers and therefore the best results. They are simply designed to help you learn as much as possible about your candidate. So the following questions are: tell me something about yourself that isn't on your resume. You cannot learn everything about a candidate from their resume alone. Because this question is actually quite vague, it allows the candidate to choose the type of answer they would like to give you, and this could be job-related or personal. This simply allows you to get to know them a little bit more and maybe give way to more information. The way that they will respond to this question will actually give you a little bit more insight on the type of employee that they could be and if they can contribute to your company's culture. Why do you want to work here? This question is your opportunity to see how much the candidate has done their research on you and your company, and get a better idea if they are passionate about the job or if they're simply chasing a paycheck. What are your greatest strengths? This will actually show the candidate's level of self-awareness and humility. This also allows you to see if there is potential for growth and what their skill sets are. What are your weaknesses? This question, of course, allows you to see what the candidate's weaknesses are and if they conflict with the job requirements. It will also give you an insight if they are self-aware enough to know their weaknesses and if they're doing anything to improve their skills. Why are you leaving your current job? When you ask this question, pay close attention to how the candidate talks about their former employer and job experience. Are they focusing on the negative aspects? Are they complaining? Are they blaming? Or do they focus on the positive side by addressing their hopes for the future? The interviewee's ability to have self-respect and respect for their former employer will determine their professionalism. Tell me about a difficult work situation and what did you do to overcome it? Everyone has challenging circumstances at work, and it's in these situations that one either grows or fails. This is one of the best questions that you can ask a candidate because it really gives you an insight on how they perform under pressure, what are their problem-solving skills, and how they manage stress. Tell me about a time when you have achieved a goal in your life. This question allows you to know if the person is hardworking. Do they push through when challenges arrive, or do they simply give up? This will also give you an idea if their goals are in alignment with your company's goals. Do they complete a goal? And if they're ambitious. What are your long-term career goals? By discussing their long-term goals will actually give you an insight if this candidate is likely to stick around or if this job is just a stepping stone to the next one. And once again, this information will actually give you an idea if they're likely to work hard to achieve their goals. Describe a time that you had conflict at work and what did you do to resolve it. Having a problem-solving mindset is crucial, especially if you're hiring somebody who will be in a leadership role. Conflict can happen, and knowing that a candidate has good communication skills and emotional intelligence is vital. This will obviously help create a positive environment and less problems in the workplace. Also, are they able to work with other people with different backgrounds, communication styles, and personalities? What was the best thing about your last job? You really want to see if the candidate has learned anything from their previous experience and have they grown from it. Whether they had a good experience or not, you really want to pay attention to how they respond. Are they making excuses or are they seeing it as an opportunity? Do you have any questions for me? You of course want to give the candidate the opportunity to ask any questions about you and your company. This will obviously give you an insight in what they're looking for, whether they are passionate about the job, and a little bit more about their personality. In conclusion, the interview process is such a crucial step to understand so much about a candidate and whether they're of course suited or not for the job. By ensuring that you have a strong formula and well thought out questions, you are setting yourself up for success, and ultimately you will get the answers you need. You of course want to find the best candidates who have the right skills, who are a great cultural fit, who know how to manage stress, who have the right priorities, goals, and work ethic. Ultimately, you want somebody who wants to be a part of your team. So it's so important that you follow these steps, and of course, it is really up to you to put the work in to get the best results. If you want to know more about our services, who we are, and what we can help you with, simply go to our website or you can click the description box below for more information. Mitsuoka Company, because that's who we are.